Hi, my name is Denise Gehring. I'm the librarian for the School of Nursing. Today I'm going to be showing you an introduction to the library and how to find resources that you might need. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. This is the Health Sciences Virtual Library. I created this to help students, nursing students in particular, find resources all in one place, or nursing and public health students. So that you don't have to go to multiple areas of the library website. And I have links to about everything here. And I'll be going over several of the tabs today with you, and we'll look at locating the right databases and finding resources for your classes and things like that. Okay. To access this, uh, to get to this library research guide, you can go ahead and scan this QR code and it will bring it up on your computer or your device. Or you can go to apu.libguides.com/health sciences virtual library. Scrolling down here, you'll see my picture on the left, and there are several ways that you can contact me, including by email. If I'm available on chat, this will be in red and it will say chat with Denise, and you can chat with me at that time. You can also schedule a research consultation with me. If I'm unavailable, feel free to email me to see if I have any availability, and I'll try to work with your schedule. So the first tab here is goes to the APU library website. We're going to come back to this in just a little bit. Underneath this is a link, links out to your library account. And again, I'll show you this in just a little bit as well. So depending on what class you're in, I have resources available for different classes that I've worked with in the past. So you'll see there's some graduate classes, some public health classes, some undergraduate classes, and some doctoral classes. And then I also have a guide for the health care administration class as well. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what one of the classes might look like. So I'm going to go to GNRS 500. Usually I post the syllabi if I get them, and these are some older syllabi listed here. I also post recordings of any training sessions that I've done, so you'll see those listed. On the right-hand side on this particular, for this particular class, I have the required materials that's listed in the syllabus. And some of these will be available in ebook format and some of them are in print. Like this one here is in print. We do have a copy in the library and it is available to check out. This one right here is an actual ebook. So if you wanted to view this ebook, you would go ahead and just click on the title. And then you'll click on view ebook. You'll have to log in with your APU username and password if you haven't done so already. And then each of the ebook vendors is slightly different. So this one is EBSCO. And so you'll see that we have 3 copies of this book and 2 are available. And you'll see the table of contents listed here. So if you wanted to say go to chapter 1, you could go ahead and go to chapter 1 And if you wanted to download the pages for chapter 1, you'll go ahead and click on print pages. And then this section in print PDF. It'll ask you to save it on your computer as a PDF. And then you'll be able to have it on your computer until you delete it. So that's what's nice about having the PDF option to download the chapters, is that you can actually save it on your computer. As you can see on here, this said, I believe it said 30 pages at a time, and now it's down to 8. And so what you'll do is, if you want to download another 30 pages, you'll have to close the browser and come back to this later. An easy way to do that is you can go ahead and get the permalink right here, and then just copy this and paste it somewhere where you can get back to it easily, and then click on it to open it back up to the ebook. Okay, so that is one way that you can access it later. You can also search within this particular ebook, and you can cite it as well. So going back to the GNRS 500 page, I have some other materials listed, and then some in the syllabi it mentioned the Code of Ethics, and so I have links to the current Code of Ethics here as well. So going back to the left side here, if you need help on selecting a topic and writing a research question, here's a tutorial on picking a topic and writing a research question that will walk you through that process. And feel free to go through this. And there's a video that comes with it, and then there's different steps in the process. So you'll go over brainstorming, determining your topic is valid, refining your topic, creating a research question, and developing strong keywords. The next thing is coming up with Boolean operators and other search techniques. This will help you format your keywords in a way that will help you find articles in the database. Okay, so and or are two of the Boolean operators that we use frequently. And is peanut butter and jelly. So only articles that have both of them will appear. Okay. And normally we use and between our main concepts. And or is peanut butter or jelly. So peanut butter by itself, jelly by itself, or both together. And generally here we use this between our synonyms and related words. Okay. And then there's not. Not is an exclusion. I recommend that you be very cautious when you do use not, because you might exclude something you don't mean to exclude. So, for instance, you're writing a paper all about peanut butter, and there's an article that's exactly what you need on the history of peanut butter. Well, the author's last name is Jelly. Okay, only mention of jelly in the article. When you say peanut butter, not jelly, that article will not appear because it's looking in the author field as well. Okay. Now you could add qualifiers to this, say peanut butter, not jelly in the subject field, or not jelly in the title, and then it would still appear. So just be cautious when you do use not, because you might get rid of something you don't mean to get rid of. Other search techniques include truncation, and this will help you broaden your search to include variant word endings and spellings. You would enter the root of the word and then the truncation symbol, which is the asterisk. And so this would look like, as an example, NURS asterisk will bring up nurse, nurses, nursing. RELIGIO asterisk will bring up religion, religions, religious, religiosity. Okay, so as you can see on here, You don't need full words to put these behind. They can go behind full words, but also can go behind just the root of the word. I also use phrase searching quite a bit, which is where you use quotation marks around your search words to search as a phrase. And this will help you narrow your results. And so you put this around 2 or more words. And example here, spiritual care. If you put your quotation marks around that, um, care will be at the top, or care might be at the top. With quotation marks, spiritual and care have to be together. If you don't use it, care at the top, spiritual at the bottom, but might not be together anywhere within the article. Okay. I don't often use wildcards or nesting. So you can, if you want to use those, you can check those out later. And then more information on effective search techniques. There's a tutorial that will walk you through this, and it is listed here, and there's a video on it, and then it goes over choosing the right databases for your needs, your Boolean operators. It talks about truncation as well as modifying and refining your results. And you might find using Google Books and Google Scholar helpful as well. Okay, so that is the GNRS 500 page, and each of the pages is similar. You might find, like on this one right here, GNRS 506, I go over a little bit more in detail on how to search for different information for this particular class. In the undergrad class, UNRS 270, it's about the same as the GNRS 500. I just, as you can see here, I have the books on the other side, and I have the required text for that particular class listed as well. So the next tab I want to point out is the books and ebooks. So if you click on this, it'll just go walk you through how to search for books and ebooks. But what I want to show you underneath that is a link to the library catalog and search everything. This is essentially the same thing, except the library catalog is limited to books and search everything is not limited. It's everything else. Okay. So, we're going to be going into this in just a little bit, but I just wanted to point out those links there. The next tab, journal articles and databases. I have some recommended databases to begin your search. Now, it just depends on what class you're in. I do have some like anatomy.tv if you're looking for more 3D resources on human anatomy. Up to date is listed here. I always say start with Signal and Medline when you're looking for research, though. So that's at the top. And then if you're looking for information on theories, nursing theories and theorists, we have videos on those, and that information is here as well. On the right-hand side here at the top, I have the databases lists by subject. So if you go to nursing, you'll see that we have, there's 52 databases listed here. And there are the best bets. So I say start with Signal and Medline. Okay. And then there are a lot of other databases, like publisher specific ones, like the American Medical Association or Psych Info. This is a database if you are looking at resources related to mental health, you might want to use that one. Okay, so it just depends on what you're looking for. There are lots of databases that we have in the library, and I would recommend that you check them out. So going back here, I talk about choosing the right database. So deciding on which database to use will depend on your topic. So I mentioned psych info if you're focusing on mental health. Focusing on education, you might want to look in ERIC or Academic Search Premier. Maybe leadership or administration, you might want to look in Academic Search Premier or um, uh, Communication and Mass Media Complete. You might find some resources in there. Okay. And then we have some tutorials on the different databases available. Like this one here is for Health Source Nursing Academic Edition, all EBSCO databases, and this is for ATLA Religion. So if you're looking at, again, if you're looking at more spiritual care related resources, you might look at ATLA Religion as a database. Now this goes to Medline, so I'll just go ahead and click on it. And it'll start with a video here. And then it also walks you through
Medline is a reference
what's covered
database
in the
containing
video.
abstracts from medical and healthcare journals. Maintained.
Okay. So that is what the tutorials look like. And then while I'm here, I just want to point out the bubble at the bottom here. On any of the library guides pages, you'll see this bubble, and it is for the chat of where you can chat with a librarian, either from APU or another library if a APU librarian isn't available. Also, you can leave a message for us if you want, so feel free to use the chat service. The next tab is APA citation help. And here I have some 7th edition resources, okay? And then I have other guides on creating citations and then information on APA here. Okay, and then I have other guides and citations that you might find helpful here. I'm going to go now underneath this is citation generators and management tools. I created this guide just to bring together some of the resources that I had throughout different guides. And for instance, citation management software. Historically, we had access to EndNote. APU no longer supports this. If you do want it, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial and access it that way. But there are a couple free sources. Zotero is one and Mendeley is one. Okay, Mendeley, here's a tutorial on how to use Mendeley. Zotero's, there's a tutorial here for Zotero if you want to check that out. And both are pretty easy to use. I've been using both of them for different projects, and I like some aspects of each of them. So it depends on what I'm going to be using it for. I might use Mendeley or I might use Zotero. Underneath this is the citation generators. So there are different citation generators. There's a tutorial on citation generators. Just an example of a citation generator is Zotero Bib. So this is a great tool if you're just doing like 1 or 2 citations and you need the APA format for it. So I'll go ahead and there's also a tutorial here, but I'll go ahead and click on Zotero Bib so you can see what this looks like. All you have to do is put in a URL, ISBN, DOI, a PubMed ID, or this other type of ID or title, and you click on cite and it'll look for it. Okay. So I've already clicked on cite for some of these here. This I put in a URL and it brought it up at the Chronicle of Higher Education. And then I can, if I wanted to copy the bibliography entry, I'll go ahead and click here. If I want to copy the citation, I can go ahead and put in page numbers, etc. there, and then it will give me the in-text citation. Okay, so there are different ways that you can use Zotero Bib, but as you can see here, you can easily pull up citations one time. Maybe you just need it one time for a paper, that type of thing. So going back to the Health Sciences Virtual Library, I did forget to mention under journal articles and databases, I have 3 other pages listed here. Article finders, if you have a known citation and you want to find that article, either see if we have it in our database or request it from interlibrary loan. That's where you would use article finder. So again, if you have the full citation, go ahead and put that in here. You can also put in the DOI if you have it, and it'll look to see if we have it based on the DOI. This is just an example. I'm not sure what this is, but I'll go ahead and see what it is. And it looks like we have it in full text in 2 different databases. So I just click on view full text to access it. If we didn't have it in full text, there would be nothing listed here. So then I would just click on request from interlibrary loan. And once you click on request from interlibrary loan, everything should be filled in for you. You'll go down to the bottom and you'll select the copyright acknowledgement and then submit request. And the article will be emailed to you. We say between 2 to 4 business days, but sometimes it might take up to 10 days, and depending on the article. Some articles I've gotten within 2 hours. So it just varies by the time. And then one other button underneath journal articles and databases. If you want to look up journal titles, maybe you browse a journal title, you can do that here. And then this goes to the complete A to Z database list. Under other research guides, I have created guides for different topics here. For instance, for those that know what the Prisma is, there's a guide on creating a Prisma flow diagram. I have a guide on removing duplicates in your searches, searching for quantitative and qualitative articles. I have a guide on writing scoping or systematic reviews, exporting records from EBSCO and ProQuest, types of research instruments, all sorts of different things. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to the APU library website. So I talked about your library account. So you can access that by clicking on my library account. And this is where a couple of things, if you want to renew any books that you have checked out, you can go ahead and renew them here. If you've requested any articles or books, you'll be able to see them under requests here. And for articles, you can pick them up by clicking on click here to view item. Another way that you'll get them is via email from our ILL department. So also check your email, like they emailed this one to me instead of putting it on here. Okay. So you can see if you have any fines or fees. If you do have any fines under library links here, you can go ahead and click on pay my library fines. Your search activity. So this is your search activity within the search everything. So this isn't going to be your search activity within a database in particular. Okay. your borrowing history, and then your profile, which here you can go ahead and set up your text messaging to get alerts about um, articles that you have requested, or enable your borrowing history. You can also do that under your profile. I'm not going to show that because I do have my phone number on there and I don't want it displayed online. Going back to the library homepage, then you'll see the chat feature here as well. So you can go ahead and use this to chat with a librarian. So I talked about Search Everything, and this is a great tool to get started. Now, this is for the introductory level classes. For like upper classes, you're going to want to go to the actual nursing databases. So just keep that in mind. But this is a great tool just to see what's out there on a topic, and then you can then go into the databases as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in here. Let's see. Spiritual care and nursing. So you'll see here that it not just print books will come up, but all sorts of materials. And you can also expand this to say, um, if you want to retain your filters, or if you want to go to libraries worldwide, you can go ahead and it'll expand it to all libraries worldwide. Okay. So this is a print book. You'll see some print books. You'll see some ebooks, like this one is an ebook. And then there'll be articles as well. Here's another ebook. So if you want to narrow your results by type of material, maybe you want to limit it by ebooks, so you can just select ebooks here, and then you'll only see the articles that are in ebook format. Now, I would highly recommend, if you do limit it to ebook, also limit to only APU, because unfortunately you can't access other libraries' ebooks. And so if you do limit it to ebook, limit it to APU. So I want to go ahead and open this ebook. So I'll click on View Ebook. And then again, I mentioned there are multiple different vendors that have um, books available. As you can see here, we have this. We have full access to this ebook, and you can go down to the table of contents here and select the chapter that you want to download. Okay. And there's a number of ebooks that we have available. Okay. So now I'm going to go back up to the top of the page, and I'm going to go ahead and remove ebooks. So it's going to remove that, and I'm going to remove APU as well. So to look at libraries worldwide. Now if I want to look at print books, I'll go ahead and just narrow it to print books. And for print books, you can request those from other schools. So you can keep that in mind. It's just the ebooks that you can't request from other schools. It's ebooks will be listed on the print book if we have the ebook available. This one right here, it looks like we don't have a copy of this one. If you wanted this particular book, you'll go ahead and click on the title, and then you'll click on Request from Interlibrary Loan. And then everything like before will be filled in for you. If you do want it sent to a pickup location, so if you're 15 miles away from Azusa or non-Azusa patron, you can go ahead and click on By Mail. and we'll mail it to your house. Otherwise, you'll select Darling, Marshburn, or stamps, and then you'll select copyright acknowledgement, and your information is listed here. You'll click on Submit Request, and again, this will take about 2 to 4 business days on average, and we'll include a prepaid envelope for you to send it back to us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to my search results. Going back up to the top, I'm going to go ahead and remove print books now. And now I want to go ahead and limit this to articles. So I'll go ahead and go down here to articles. And again, this is libraries worldwide, which is fine because you'll be able to request articles from other schools then. If you wanted this particular article, you'll go ahead and click on View Full Text. And then you can click on Download PDF to get the article. And here it is. Okay, going back here. You can also limit this by publication date. So maybe you're looking for articles within the last 5 years. And then other limiters that you can apply is if you want articles only in English. And then under limit 2, you can also limit to peer reviewed. I would recommend not limiting either to full text or open access. Full text will only bring up articles that are available in this database, and we might have it available in another database. So go ahead and leave that blank. Open access, it'll only bring up articles that are open access. So it's not really something that you would need. So go ahead and click on peer reviewed. And so now we're down to 1,400 articles versus there were like 15,000. Okay. Again, you'll go ahead, if you want an article, you'll click on View Full Text. If you don't see View Full Text, that means we might not have it in the library. We might not have a copy of it. And so then you'll just click on the article title, and it will give you the interlibrary loan option. I'm not running into any at this point. I don't know if I will, but if that happens to you, just realize you click on the article title, and then it'll give you the option to download it from interlibrary loan. So you'll see this instead of request from APU, it'll say request from interlibrary loan. Okay, so I'm going to just go back to my search results here. So that's how you would get articles. Sometimes the articles, it gives you an error message or something like that. You can always click on alternate links and try different sources. If you do run into problems on getting an article, you can go ahead and report this, and it will come to me in the library. Okay, so going back to the library homepage. That was search everything. I already covered these things, but under research guides, you can get to the Health Sciences Virtual Library this way as well. I just wanted to point that out. We do have in the library, we do have study rooms available that you can book a room for a group, or if you have a group of students that are meeting together, there are some individual rooms as well. Okay, just going back to the Health Sciences Virtual Library now. Now to go into the databases, I'm going to just go ahead and click on Journal Articles and Databases, and I'm going to click on CINAHL Plus with full text and Medline with full text. So the reason why you would want to use, say, CINAHL or Medline is that you can really narrow your results compared to what you can do in the Search Everything. We ended up with still 1,400 articles, and we had our topic was, and we couldn't really narrow it anymore. So some ways that we can narrow in the databases is by using the phrase search that I mentioned. Okay, and we can also add on here, say, the asterisks, okay, for the truncation. And then I'll do NURS asterisk, and again, this will add it for the truncation. And then I can go ahead and click on search. So we have 13,000 articles here. And again, I mentioned how we can narrow your search pretty easily here. So under limit 2, I'm going to click on show more. And I want to go ahead and select scholarly peer reviewed. And I want to go ahead and look at the last 5 years. So 2019 to 2024. I want to limit my results to English language as well. This will just help me so that I know that I can read all those articles, and my professor can read them as well. So that took us down to 3,500. So what I like to do here is I like to look through some of these articles, and maybe I want to see, to narrow my topic. Maybe I want to look for, like, students or related to mental health, or depending on what my topic is, like nurses' perceptions, that type of thing. I can go ahead and add those to my search then to help me narrow the topic. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add and as you can see here, it gives you some suggested words. And you can use those words or not, depending on what you're looking for. So this will help me narrow my results as well, because I did add additional terms here. Another way to narrow this is by looking, right now it's looking for spiritual care throughout the full text of the article. Well, we know that it is a subject term, okay? And we might also want to add it by itself, because we see that spirituality is a term. So spiritualities, that will bring up that. So I'll go ahead and add that. And I'm going to go ahead and narrow this a little bit to talking about nurses or nursing staff. Okay, so, and then that will narrow our results as well. So now it's down to 11,000. So we're going to go ahead and narrow this. I want to look for just these terms in the subject heading field and not the entire full text. So to do that, I'm going to change this to subject terms. Okay. Same thing with this line, subject heading field, but not the entire full text. And this should help us narrow our results here. Yeah, so as you can see here, we're now down to 582. And there might be other terms that you wanna add, like, I see reflection here or, depending on, what you're looking for, you can add other terms as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and limit this to the subject terms as well. And so now I'm down to 358. Now, depending on the type of paper you're looking for, this might be a good number of results, because it gives you a wide number, and then you can go through and look at the titles and abstracts that are listed here. And don't look at the full text, just look at the titles and abstracts, and then you can decide if it fits your topic or not. Okay. But if you do want to continue to narrow it a little bit, you might want to maybe you want to look at, like, this is in the intensive care unit. So maybe you want to add terms like that to narrow it even more. So you could add intensive care. Okay, and then you can go ahead and click on search here. And so now it's down to 76. Okay, and if I wanted to say search this in the subject terms, I could. And we have 29. And you'll notice here exact duplicates removed. So that means that they've already removed the duplicates for you. So you don't have, um, if you go to my guide on removing duplicates, you'll know that this has already been removed. Okay, and then to get to the full text, you'll go ahead, if it's open access, you can click on open access. Otherwise, you'll click on PDF full text or full text finder. So I'll go ahead and click on full text finder here. And then I'll click on APU Library Discovery. And if we have it in a database, you can go get to it by clicking on View Full Text. Sometimes with Ovid, it doesn't always come up right. If it doesn't come up right, you could just copy the title from this page, here, and then paste it at the top here, and you can look for it that way. This one did come up, so I'll just click on PDF to download it. And then I have the PDF right here. And going back to the search results. And if we don't have something, remember that you can always order it from another school. So, and that's a free service, like I mentioned. It looks like we don't have this one, so I'll click on request from interlibrary loan. And then I scroll down and I select the copyright acknowledgement and submit request. And then it will go to your request menu on your library account that I showed you earlier. Okay. Now to get the citations, you can also get the citations for these articles by clicking on the article title. And there's a toolbar on the right side here, and you can click on cite to get the citation. You can also get the permalink for the article, which is right here. And if you do want to create folders, you can go ahead and add it to your folder as well to get back to it later. To save this search to get back to this search later. One thing that you can do is click on share and then copy this permalink, and then you can save it in an email or like on a Google Doc or an email that you can get back to later. And all you have to do is copy and paste that link back into your address bar, and you'll be able to get back to these 29 results. Okay. And then just to note, if you do apply any limiters like down here, these will not be maintained in that permalink. So if you apply these limiters down here, they won't be maintained. Okay. Um, if you go to show more, like I showed you under limit 2 and apply limiters that way, then they will be maintained. Okay. So just going back to the Health Sciences Virtual Library now, um, feel free to let us know if you have any questions, and we will get in touch with you. If you do, leave us a message, okay? Um, if you do need help on a particular topic, again, you can use the chat service, um, set up an appointment with us, or email us, okay? So today I covered how to find resources using the Health Sciences Virtual Library on the library website. And we talked about doing a search and search everything. And then I also showed you how to search in CINAHL and Medline. So what I'd like you to do before you after this session is to go ahead and try a sample search and search everything, as well as the CINAHL database, to see if you can find one article in each source, in each either search everything, one in search everything, and one in CINAHL and Medline. See if you can find one article that you can use on your paper. And if you want to, you can go ahead and email me, and I would email me the DOI or the citation so that I know that you did that. Okay. So please feel free to contact me, and I will be more than happy to help you. Have a great afternoon.